Siberia, one of the coldest and most unforgiving places on Earth, is a frozen graveyard of secrets, untouched and completely hidden for thousands of years. But recently, terrifying discoveries have come to light. Discoveries so bizarre that they threaten to rewrite everything we thought we knew and challenge all possible explanations. These frightening natural anomalies and findings could open the doors to secrets as old as human existence itself. But why are scientists so desperate to keep them hidden? Join us as we unravel the unsettling mysteries that the vast Siberian expanse has kept for centuries. Unexplained environmental and geological mysteries. The natural world is full of wonders, but some remain beyond our understanding. These mysteries challenge what we know about our planet, pushing us to explore the unknown. Here are some of the most fascinating and intriguing stories related to our environment and geology. At the beginning of the 20th century, Franklin Licht claimed a remote area south of the Arctic Circle. Initially inhabited by the Athabascan people, this land promised riches during the gold rush. However, when the gold ran out, the region became a ghost town. Decades later, in the 1990s, the area found a new purpose as a resort, but frightening stories began to emerge. Guests and staff reported poltergeist activity, objects moving on their own, ghostly footsteps in empty hallways, and sightings of a translucent woman. Locals believed it was the spirit of the former owner's wife, eternally bound to the land. Whether true or imagined, these stories continue to captivate visitors. The story of the Octavius, an 18th century cargo ship, is truly chilling. In 1761, the ship set sail from China, attempting to navigate the dangerous Northwest Passage, a route that had never been conquered before. The ship vanished without a trace. 14 years later, a whaling ship found the Octavius, now a ghost ship encased in ice. The crew discovered the frozen bodies of the captain and sailors, preserved in the midst of their duties. The captain was found writing in the ship's logbook at the moment of his death. The last entry was dated November 1762, leaving historians to speculate about the horrors faced by the crew as the Arctic temperatures sealed their fate. The Inuit tell stories of mysterious realms that exist at the edges of our reality. An elder recounted a story of accidentally entering one of these planes. She described how her surroundings shifted into a strange, dreamlike landscape. What felt like half an hour to her turned out to be 3 days in the real world. To escape, she bit her own hand, leaving a scar she carried for the rest of her life. Stories like these blur the lines between myth and unexplained phenomena, making us wonder, do alternate dimensions really exist? The Soviet Union launched an ambitious project in 1970 to dig the deepest artificial hole on Earth. Known as the Kola Super Deep Borehole, it reached more than 12,000 meters into the Earth's crust before being abandoned in 1994. Officially, funding problems halted the drilling, but rumors tell a more sinister story. Some claim that the drill opened up a cavernous hell, where microphones recorded sounds resembling the screams of tortured souls. Scientists supposedly went insane after hearing the sounds. Although this story is probably an urban legend, the dark atmosphere surrounding the project earned it the nickname Gate to Hell. In the snowy landscapes of Labrador, Canada, stories circulate about a ghostly figure known as the Phantom Trapper. According to legend, this man, possibly named Paul, was an unsuccessful hunter who became a smuggler. To escape the law, he and his sled team camouflaged themselves with white furs, blending perfectly into the snow. Tragically, he broke his back in the wilderness and, fearing damnation, begged to become a ghost. To this day, local residents claim to see his completely white sled team racing across the frozen landscapes without leaving a trace. The Norwegian city of Tromsø, located above the Arctic Circle, is known for its natural beauty and long history. However, the city center holds dark secrets. Built over an old cemetery, the city center is supposedly haunted. Stories of ghostly apparitions, mysterious footsteps, and other paranormal activities are common. Fishermen also talk about sea trolls lurking around the nearby beaches. These accounts, whether real or folkloric, add a dark charm to the icy streets of Tromsø. Between 1947 and 1953, prisoners from the Soviet Union worked under brutal conditions to build a railway across the frozen Siberia. More than 300,000 lives were lost during the project, many due to the harsh climate and starvation. After the death of a Soviet leader, the railway was abandoned, leaving behind rusted tracks and crumbling structures. Urban explorers who visit the site report hearing ghostly voices, distant hammering, and cries of pain, echoes of the workers' suffering. In Inuit mythology, Sedna rules over the sea and its creatures. Her story varies, but most versions describe a tragic transformation. In one version, Sedna was thrown into the ocean by her father, who cut off her fingers to prevent her from climbing back into the kayak. Her fingers turned into seals, whales, and walruses, while Sedna herself became a powerful goddess. Hunters must appease her with offerings to ensure successful hunts, as she controls the sea animals. Her story is a reminder of humanity's deep connection with the natural world and its forces. In recent years, melting ice has revealed ancient secrets preserved for tens of thousands of years. In 2018, a perfectly preserved bird was discovered in Siberia, frozen for 48,000 years. Its feathers and body were so intact that it looked as if it had died recently. Similarly, in Canada, miners found a mummified wolf pup that was 57,000 years old, named Dure. The pup's skin, teeth, and organs were incredibly well preserved. These discoveries offer valuable insights into the Ice Age and the creatures that once inhabited our planet. Leaving behind the mysteries of Earth's ever-changing landscapes, we dive deeper into the frozen vastness of Siberia. We discover a time capsule from the Ice Age. The next segment reveals the story of a remarkable saber-toothed tiger cub preserved for tens of thousands of years in the Siberian permafrost, offering us a rare glimpse into a bygone era. The saber-toothed tiger cub, in the heart of Siberia's frozen terrain, an incredible discovery came to light in the year 2020. Scientists unearthed the mummified remains of a saber-toothed tiger cub, preserved for an astonishing 35,000 years. This ancient cub, discovered in the Republic of Sakha, also known as Yakutia, offers a unique glimpse into a world long lost to time. The cub, belonging to a species known as Homotherium latidens, was no ordinary feline. Its discovery is one of the most exciting in the field of paleontology, shedding light both on the animal itself and on the environment of the Ice Age. The saber-toothed tiger cub, remarkably intact, was found encased in the Siberian permafrost. This frozen ground acts as a natural freezer, preserving animals in such a perfect state that even soft tissues remain intact. The cub's body was found with whiskers, claws, and a short, dark brown coat that was still soft to the touch. The fur, measuring about 2 to 3 centimeters in length, provided scientists with unprecedented details about the cub's appearance and biology. Radiocarbon dating revealed that the cub lived more than 35,000 years ago during the Pleistocene period, a time when vast layers of ice covered much of the Earth. The cub was only about 3 weeks old when it died, although the cause of its death remains a mystery. Its small size and delicate features offer a poignant reminder of its brief life in a harsh and unforgiving environment. The saber-toothed tiger belonged to the genus Homotherium, a group of felines known as scimitar-toothed cats. These animals were famous for their long canine teeth that extended beyond their mouths. Unlike modern big cats, Homotherium had distinct physical characteristics. The cub's body revealed fascinating adaptations. Its paws were wider than those of today's lion cubs, suggesting that this feature helped with movement over thick snow. Interestingly, the cub did not have carpal pads, the small cushions found on the wrists of modern felines. Instead, its wide paws likely acted as snowshoes, providing stability on snowy terrain. Scientists also noted the cub's neck region and the shape of its snout, which differed significantly from modern cats. These features, combined with small ears and elongated limbs, highlight how Homotherium was designed for life in icy landscapes. This is the first time researchers have been able to study the physical characteristics of Homotherium latidens in such detail. Previously, most of the information about saber-toothed tigers came from fossilized bones, which offered only a limited view of their appearance and lifestyle. The saber-toothed tiger cub is not the only ancient creature to emerge from the Siberian permafrost in recent years. Other well-preserved animals have been found in the region, including a woolly rhinoceros, a mummified wolf, and even mammoths. These discoveries highlight the unique ability of permafrost to act as a natural time capsule, preserving the remains of animals that lived tens of thousands of years ago. For example, gold miners in the Sakha Republic recently unearthed a woolly rhinoceros carcass, with its horn and soft tissues intact. This rhinoceros, believed to be over 10,000 years old, provides further insights into the megafauna of the Ice Age that once roamed Siberia. Similarly, scientists have studied the remains of a 44,000-year-old wolf, complete with internal organs and stomach contents. These discoveries allow researchers to reconstruct not only the lives of these animals, but also the ecosystem in which they lived. What makes the saber-toothed tiger cub so special is its potential to unlock secrets about the Ice Age. By studying its preserved tissues, scientists can learn more about the climate and environment in which it lived. For example, the texture and coloration of the cub's fur suggest that it was adapted to the cold climate, just like modern Arctic animals. In addition, its well-preserved muscles and bones can help researchers understand how these predators hunted and moved in their icy habitat. Another exciting aspect of this discovery is the opportunity to extract ancient DNA. The cub's genetic material can provide valuable information about its species, and its relationship to other saber-toothed tigers. It can also reveal how these animals adapted to extreme conditions and why they eventually became extinct. This type of research not only deepens our understanding of the past, but also sheds light on how modern animals might adapt to a changing climate. The discovery of 248 fetuses in Siberia, attention turns to a frightening reality, revealing a tragic chapter in modern human history. The discovery of 248 fetuses. On a quiet Sunday in July 2012, a fisherman from the small Siberian village of Leoa found something that would mark him forever. As he walked through the dense forest, he came across large barrels spilling macabre contents, the mummified small bodies of 248 fetuses. Some of them had tags with surnames, as if someone had planned to track them. Stunned and shaken, the fisherman returned to the village, spending the entire next day feeling unwell before finally mustering the courage to call the police. This was not the first time Leoa had been linked to horrors of this kind. 5 years earlier, the decomposed bodies of 15 women and girls had been found in the same forests, victims of a human trafficking ring. These terrifying discoveries painted a grim picture of a region struggling to recover after the fall of the Soviet Union, marked by economic collapse and deep social problems. Leoa, once a lively mining town, is now just a shadow of what it used to be. Its copper mine, which was the town's main source of income, closed years ago. Most of the residents lost their jobs, and the population dropped from 18,000 to just 4,000. Those who remained often live in poverty, trapped in cycles of alcoholism and despair. Stray dogs roam the streets, crumbling houses collapse, and a sense of hopelessness hangs in the air. The discovery of the fetuses prompted swift action from the local authorities. Investigators revealed that the fetuses had been donated to the Ural Medical Academy for research purposes. However, many of the fetuses were between 22 and 26 weeks of development, far beyond the legal 12-week limit for abortions in Russia. This raised serious questions. Were these cases of premature births, or was something even more disturbing going on? Theories quickly spread. Some residents believed that the fetuses might be linked to illegal human trafficking, possibly for medical or cosmetic use. Others thought it was simply negligence, questioning why the remains were not properly buried or cremated. Meanwhile, the Russian Orthodox Church used the discovery to reinforce its anti-abortion message, calling the event a sign of the moral decline of society. This tragic event was not limited to just the fetuses. It highlighted the greater struggles faced by small industrial towns throughout Russia's decaying regions. With factories and mines shutting down, communities like Leoa were left to fall apart. Many residents rely on government pensions and cheap alcohol to survive, with little hope for change. The old slogan that greeted visitors at the entrance to the village, "Glory to labor, glory to the miners," now seems meaningless, as the former mine fills with stagnant water. The church has become one of the few remaining sources of support in the village, but even it is overwhelmed. Local priests often find themselves giving money to desperate young people, who sometimes spend it on substances to numb their pain. A retired nurse Nadia Kirilova, expressed her sadness over the state of the village's youth, saying, "They are already lost and recovery may take generations." The discovery has also reignited the debate over abortion in Russia. The advanced development of the fetuses has drawn attention to how abortions are performed in the country. Many people condemn the way the remains were disposed of, but argued that banning abortion would not solve the problem, especially in poor areas where women cannot support children. Women like Zura Murina, who works as a repairwoman in Lioa, were horrified by the way the fetuses were left exposed, but defended abortion as a necessary option for young women in difficult situations. "Why not give them a proper burial?" asked Zura, shaking her head at the idea of leaving them in the forest. Even those who oppose abortion, like Kirilova, admitted that the issue is complicated. A devout Christian, she regrets an abortion she had years ago, but acknowledged that the village's problems with poverty and dependency make enforcing a ban unrealistic. "People here can't even find work," she reflected, thinking about the struggles many face. Despite the investigation, many questions remain unanswered. How did the fetuses end up in the forest? Why did some have surnames attached to them? And who should be held responsible for their improper disposal? These unanswered questions have deepened the sense of unease in Lioa. For Sergei Tartino, this discovery is just another reminder of how much darkness surrounds his community. After witnessing the horrors of human trafficking, and now this, he spoke with a weary acceptance. "After everything I've seen before, nothing surprises me anymore," he said. Outside of Lioa, the discovery has forced a broader reflection in Russia. The Russian Orthodox Church called this a glaring example of the moral decline of society, urging people to reconsider their attitudes toward life and death. Others see it as a sign of deeper problems: economic failures, weak law enforcement, and a lack of support for struggling communities. The mysterious discovery of the Princess of Tsul. In 2002, a Russian newspaper published a fascinating story about an artifact that came to be known as the 800-million-year-old lady. The article, written by journalist Oleg Kitchen, detailed a sensational account shared by a former KGB agent. The agent claimed that an extraordinary archaeological discovery had been made in the late 1960s, a discovery that the Soviet government quickly tried to cover up. If true, this discovery could rewrite everything we know about the history of humanity. The story began on September 5th, 1969, in a small Russian village called Ravik. Deeply buried, approximately 70 meters below the surface, a group of miners led by Alexander Megan found something they could not explain. When their pickaxes struck a rock, they came across a smooth, solid structure, unlike anything they had ever seen before. It was neither stone nor metal, but seemed to be a perfect fusion of marble and crystal. At first glance, it resembled a sarcophagus, the kind of coffin often used in ancient burials, but this object did not appear to be an artifact from human history. The discovery stirred a mix of emotions. Megan, intrigued by the implications of the find, wanted to alert the authorities immediately. He saw the potential value of the artifact and believed that officials would treat it as a revolutionary discovery. The miners, however, were apprehensive. They feared that if the authorities took control, the artifact would be taken away, leaving them empty-handed and with years of unrecognized work. Despite their concerns, the miners knew they couldn't leave the strange object partially buried, so they decided to keep digging. As they worked cautiously, the sarcophagus gradually emerged from the earth. When it was finally unearthed and opened, what they saw inside left everyone speechless. The coffin had been sealed so perfectly that it created a vacuum effect when opened. This preservation, so airtight, was far more advanced than anything they had ever encountered. Inside was the body of a young woman who looked almost alive. Her features, skin and hair were perfectly intact, as if she had been preserved only a few hours earlier. She appeared to be between 25 and 30 years old, with long dark brown hair that fell to her waist. She wore an exquisite, delicate white lace dress adorned with embroidered flowers, and her body was surrounded by a strange pink liquid that seemed to have preserved her perfectly. Even more astonishing were her accessories. The young woman wore delicate bracelets, rings, and a tiara made of precious metals and gemstones. all encrusted with intricate symbols and inscriptions in a language that no one could identify. Further adding to the enigma, a small, mysterious black metal box was found inside the sarcophagus. Its purpose was uncertain, but it only deepened the overall mystery. One of the miners, driven by curiosity, dipped his finger into the pink liquid. He found it warm to the touch, but when exposed to air, the liquid began to change color, shifting from pink to bluish tones. The discovery quickly drew the attention of the authorities. A group of men in gray protective suits arrived at the site, claiming that the artifact could be dangerous and needed to be removed. The sarcophagus and its contents were loaded onto a helicopter and taken away, leaving the villagers in shock and disbelief. Rumors began to circulate soon after the event, especially about the miner who had touched the pink liquid. Stories claimed that, in the weeks following the incident, his mental health rapidly deteriorated, and he tragically froze to death outside his home, unable to find his way back inside. Scientists who supposedly examined the remains of the young woman made astonishing claims. One researcher suggested that she had died millions of years ago, predating the existence of humans by an unimaginable span of time. The pink liquid that preserved her body was unlike any substance known to science, and her dress was made of an unidentified material, with a silvery sheen and no visible seams, as if the fabric had been created using technology far beyond modern capabilities. Despite the monumental implications of the discovery, media coverage was brief. The story appeared in a local newspaper, but quickly vanished from public view. Shortly thereafter, men in gray suits returned to the village and confiscated all copies of the newspaper that reported the discovery. The villagers were warned not to speak about the event, and those who did faced severe consequences. The journalist who initially reported the story, as well as the scientists who studied the remains, were punished. It seemed that the Soviet government was determined to erase all traces of the incident. However, rumors persisted. Eyewitness accounts claimed that soldiers were sent to the area, restricting access for locals and researchers. Some speculated that additional sarcophagi, possibly 3 more, had been found in the same region. It was believed that these contained bodies that appeared to be in a deep sleep rather than dead, further deepening the mystery. Could these discoveries represent an ancient and advanced civilization? Or something even more extraordinary? Parallels with other historical accounts only fueled the speculation. Conspiracies flourished similarly during the Cold War era, when secrecy and distrust were at their peak. The fascination with the Princess of Tizul combines forbidden knowledge, military secrecy, and the human desire to question the official narrative. As we unravel the layers of the Siberian enigma, moving from tales of strange objects to a world where the lines between fact and fiction blur, what might these hidden secrets still reveal? Conspiracy theories and possible cover-ups. For decades, Siberia has captured the imagination with its endless mysteries. Stories of strange objects, bizarre occurrences, and inexplicable tragedies have given rise to countless conspiracy theories. From mysterious illnesses to government secrecy, this vast and isolated region holds secrets that continue to fuel speculation and debate. One of the most persistent legends in Siberia involves dome-shaped objects made of copper-colored metal. Local residents claim that these objects appear seemingly out of nowhere, plunging into the ground from the sky. Those who get too close say they become seriously ill, or worse, suffer fatal consequences. Although these stories may seem exaggerated, they might have a basis in reality. Decades ago, this area was a center for Soviet rocket launches and nuclear tests. It is entirely possible that remnants of failed rockets or debris from tests explain these strange objects. Toxic materials from this debris could easily cause health problems for anyone who encountered them. Adding to the mystery, residents of Siberia have also reported bizarre aerial phenomena. Floating balloons, described as unidentified flying objects, are frequently spotted in the region, with some even exploding in the air. Given the history of nuclear testing during the Soviet era, it is plausible that these sightings are linked to remnants of Cold War experiments. High levels of methane gas in the area may also contribute to hallucinations, distorting people's perceptions of what they actually see. But the strange events don't end there. In 1959, one of the most terrifying and inexplicable tragedies occurred in the Ural Mountains, known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. 9 experienced Soviet hikers set out on a winter expedition, expecting to return in just over 2 weeks. However, when no news came from the group, search teams were sent out. What was discovered remains one of the greatest hiking mysteries to this day. The hiker's tent was found torn open from the inside, abandoned in the snow. Scattered across the frozen landscape were their bodies, each revealing disturbing injuries. Some of the hikers had fractured skulls and crushed ribs, injuries that would normally require immense force to inflict. Others were missing their eyes, and one was found without a tongue. Perhaps most unsettling was the condition of their clothing. Many were inadequately dressed for the brutal Siberian cold, as if they had fled their tent in a panic. Over the years, countless theories have emerged to explain this tragic event. Some believe that the group accidentally stumbled upon secret military tests in the remote region, leading to their untimely deaths. According to this theory, the hikers may have witnessed something they weren't supposed to see, triggering a deadly cover-up by the authorities. Others suggest natural explanations, such as an avalanche, which could account for the group's panic and their sudden flight from the tent. However, the lack of certain physical evidence, such as the typical signs of avalanche trauma, makes this theory questionable. More extravagant theories have also emerged, sparking the imagination. Some claim that the hikers were attacked by a yeti, a giant and mysterious creature, supposedly inhabiting icy and remote regions. Others go even further, suggesting that Sasquatch, the famous creature from folklore, could have been involved. The most sensationalist theories even point to extraterrestrial involvement, with some suggesting that the group's deaths were the result of a strange, otherworldly encounter. However, none of these theories provide a definitive answer, leaving the Dyatlov Pass incident shrouded in mystery. Along the same lines of inexplicable occurrences, Siberia is home to one of the largest man-made cavities in the world, the Mir Mine. This diamond mine, with a depth of over 500 meters, is known for creating air currents so powerful that helicopters are forbidden from flying over it. Although the size and impact of the mine are impressive, rumors of accidents and inexplicable phenomena surround it, adding an air of intrigue. The legends don't stop with modern mysteries. In 1850, an isolated group of Inuit on King William Island reported a chilling encounter with figures that seemed neither fully alive nor completely dead. These figures were the last survivors of the disastrous Franklin expedition, a British voyage to the Arctic. The expedition ended in disaster, with the crew succumbing to the hostile environment and resorting to desperate measures, including cannibalism, to survive. Inuit oral histories describe these survivors as specters and barely human, adding a haunting chapter to the legacy of strange and tragic tales from Siberia. Even Siberia's natural world contributes to its mystique. The discovery of a well-preserved mammoth named Yucca in 2010 revealed clues about the region's icy past. Yucca's remains, found in a remarkable state of preservation, offered insights into the life of mammoths and their eventual extinction. In the same way, the thawing of the permafrost has revealed other ancient creatures, including a bear, whose carcass was over 3,000 years old. While many of Siberia's mysteries have logical explanations, be they Soviet military activities, natural phenomena, or scientific discoveries, others remain stubbornly enigmatic. Some events may be part of a larger cover-up, carefully hidden from the public, while others may simply be stories born from human curiosity and the desire to explain the inexplicable. The questions persist, inviting anyone with a sense of curiosity to keep investigating. Some stories fade into history, while others turn into enduring legends. Many of Siberia's secrets may still be waiting to be discovered. From the unsettling rumors of conspiracy theories and cover-ups, let's now focus on the inexplicable natural phenomena that intrigue scientists and storytellers alike. What secrets are hidden in the depths of the Earth and the frozen landscapes of Siberia? Let's unravel these environmental and geological mysteries. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.